Hi, everybody. It's Jen with JKC Mobile Notary. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today, we've got an interview for you. We've got an interview with Tiffany Myles. She was one of the top 3 NNA Innovator of the Years, runner-up, and she's got a lot of stuff working, and I can't wait for you to hear from her. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm excited to introduce you to one of the most remarkable women in the notary industry, Tiffany Myles. Tiffany is a notary and a public speaker, published author, and so very much more. And I don't want to give it all away in her intro, so let's welcome Tiffany to the channel. Welcome, my friend. I'm glad we finally got to do this.
Hi, welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Awesome. Well, if you're ready, we'll just kind of get into the questions because I got a lot of them.
Okay.
Okay. I want to cover a lot today, but first, can we go talk a little bit about the beginning of your notary career? Because in my research, you've had a more notary services open since 1999. Can you tell me
Yes.
about this journey a little bit?
Yes. So I originally lived in Ohio. So that's where I started my notary journey. And I started my journey when I was pregnant with my oldest son, he'll be 25. So
Wow.
it will be 25 years in June um, that I've been in the notary industry. So that's where I started. I started in Ohio and then I moved it to Arizona.
Awesome. You're also a self-published author, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you have at least, is it 7 books, planners, or journals? At least that I could find.
Yeah, so there's a few. I think there's been some mix up because it has my middle initial on some and some without my middle initial. So
Interesting.
I it's been kind of challenging. So I have journals. Yes, I do. I
Mhm.
also have a self-healing journal as well.
Mhm.
I am also in a co-author book, which means I did some co-authoring with over 300 other authors that are entrepreneurs.
Wow.
So that's 2 books there. And then right now I have some other books that are coming that we can probably discuss later, but I do have some other books that are coming. So I think I'm getting close to like 13, to be honest. So
Wow. Grossly underestimated on my part. That's remarkable.
thank you, thank you.
How, what was your journey to becoming an author or creator? Because you do have very interesting different things that you have out, not just notary things, a variety of things that are out to help people. So what brought you to becoming or feeling comfortable enough to step out that way?
So I work in the behavioral health, mental health field as my regular job, which people think that I don't have a regular job, but I do. I very I'm an advocate, not only just for notaries, but I'm an advocate for the behavioral health and the mental health field, also those with developmental disabilities. And so when you work with that industry of individuals on the capacity from the ages of 0 to 99, you develop a passion for them and you want to be able to help them and figure out what you can do to not only set yourself apart, but for them to remember you. So working with youth, where I first started off in behavioral health, those youth look up to me. They're my friends on social media to this day. You know, they're like, you helped me get through. And we're talking about those that were, wards of the court, didn't have families, didn't have parents, parents had left them, parents have either passed away or their parents just have not been in their lives. And so I've always wanted to be a change maker, especially on that level, especially with individuals in that, behavioral health field and with mental health disabilities.
Is that what inspired the Let Yourself Heal journal?
Yes. So the Let Yourself Heal journal, it pretty much talks about making sure you take care of you. What happens is all of us work, everyone has a life, but you don't take care of you in the end. And so developing that journal, I learned how to take care of me because I used to be the go, go, go.
Yeah.
I can honestly say, I would be up at 6 a.m., be done at 11 o'clock at night. And I was just in the streets, as they say. I was in the notary streets. I was over here at this meeting. I was over here networking. And so I have learned the last 2 years to put self first, make sure self-care is first. And I've stuck to it. I am very much a stickler for my schedule, making sure that I'm off at a certain time.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's hard to
Well,
do, but
yeah.
it's very hard to do.
It's a vital part of being a human, but you're right,
Mhm.
even as an entrepreneur, we do put ourselves last, and instinctually, I think we need to get this done. It's listen, and I'm not dogging on men, okay? But as women with families, we will automatically put everybody in front of us, and that
Correct.
includes our spouses or our partners, our children, our
Mm-hmm.
business. So
Mm-hmm.
I found it incredibly respect. I was really inspired that you found a way to kind of put a guide together
Mm-hmm.
for people to do that so that they can make themselves first, because we are no good to all those other people that require us if we aren't taking care of us, if we're not okay.
Right.
So
That. Mm-hmm.
it's really
So I
smart.
make sure I stick to it. I stick to it. Even now, I mean, even us setting up stuff, I was
Yeah.
like, it has to make sense with my schedule.
Yep.
And if it makes sense now, I don't do it. I really don't. The month of May is my huge month for self-care, because that's not only mental health awareness month.
Mhm.
I'm big on mental health just because um there's other underlying issues related to mental health. And so I try to make sure May, not only is May my birthday, but May is the month that I try to release most of my products, because that's the self-care month. And so
Gotcha.
this year will be the first year, just because I'm turning an even year on my birthday. So I'm going to celebrate 31 days of May for my birthday, of just festivities, of just different things to do related to self-care,
That's
going out to eat.
awesome.
Why
Yeah.
not?
There's no reason why not. And what a great catalyst for it.
Uh-huh.
I,
YOLO, right?
yep,
Just
absolutely.
mhm.
You've also created a set of journals that help, I think, help notaries diversify their businesses a little bit. I
Yes.
was excited about some of these.
Yes.
Have a You have a wedding officiant journal
Yes, I do.
and a apostille journal, which I want my hands on immediately.
Yes, I do.
Um, is it just those two? You also have a notary journal as well?
So I have the apostille, I have the
Mhm.
wedding officiant journal, I have a regular general
Mhm.
notary journal, and then I have a fundamentals journal, which covers real estate documents, all those other legal documents, plus notary documents as well for that. So I have those too.
That's, I mean, you could have all of them in your bag. They're really, it's really creative. It's a creative thing to do.
I have some more coming. So
You
they're
have more coming? You don't
yeah,
stop here, do you?
estate planning and tax journal are the next two that are coming.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, another book that I know is coming, I've pre-ordered. I'm excited about it. Is it, and I'm wondering if it's launching in May, but it's called Dark Places. Can you
Hmm.
talk about this book a little bit?
I could talk about it a little bit. So Dark Places has been a journey. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Um, my mother committed suicide in October of last year, so that set me back a lot with this book. I had to uncover things from my childhood that needed to go in this book, because this book is a memoir and it's covering the first 40 something years of my life. So I need to make sure that that stuff is accurate.
Right.
So a lot of that information that I've uncovered it like March 22nd to be exact of this year. It's literally taken me
Jeez.
that long to uncover the information that
Wow.
I found out. And so uncovering that, I have to put it in the right form. I have to put it out the proper way. There's no one else left in my family for me to worry about if someone's coming after me, anything like that. But
Mhm.
the truth needs to be told from where I come from, how I am a first generation college and high school graduate in my family. And so I have to make sure that I put it out there the proper way,
Yeah.
making sure that I'm still leaving that same legacy for my two boys. So that is coming. It's not coming in May though, but I do
Yeah.
know you ordered it. So it's all good. Yours will be
Whenever it
free.
comes out, I'm ready for it.
Yours will be free. You'll get it a couple of some other ones, but yeah, that book is the cover's been out for some time, because it took me a while to figure out the cover. Just like other covers are pretty much out.
Mhm.
Um, but I haven't put them out, shall I say. So
A
yeah.
project like that seems like it could be completely overwhelming.
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't think we very often sit back and do that sort of deep reflecting in the wake of
Mm.
such unspeakable loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I dig deep, very deep. And it's almost like writing this book. Do I just shut it off right there? Because readers will say, so what did you do next? And I'm not going to go further after I put it out there. I may chop it up more into a sequel just because
Mm,
there's so much information. You know,
mm.
it starts immediately off when I was little, goes all the way up to basically 46 years old.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I am looking forward to reading it, especially now knowing how much, blood, sweat, and tears went into this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to jump over to your volunteerism. You've already kind of brought up that you've been a mentor and a
Mm-hmm.
volunteer. You've been a workshop presenter for SCORE mentors and a guest speaker for the Better Business Bureau for Pacific Northwest and a speaker at the 2023 National Notary Association Conference. But the thing I'm really want to get into is your role as education mentor for the Greater Phoenix Urban League of Young Professionals. So a lot of words, but can you explain that group and what your role was in that and your
My
experience?
role in that, yeah, my role in that was pretty much a mentor. You were paired with a college student, basically supporting their goals and what they want to do and how they either want to brand their business or brand their careers or both. It just depends. Um, that organization, as far as mentoring, there was different events to do. I was able to get on the Zooms, but we didn't do a lot of events. I do other mentoring. I've currently added and has not been put out there yet, but I've currently added to mentor to the juveniles in the detention center here in Arizona
Oh,
for
okay.
an organization, yeah, for an organization by the name of Hustle Phoenix. And so I spoke to that group of young men. There was only 16 of them that were able to attend the actual program. So I spoke to them last Wednesday talking about restorative healing and
Hmm.
basically wrapping it around their business because they want to be entrepreneurs. So we're teaching them and showing them how to be entrepreneurs, helping them develop an LLC, helping them to develop what their plan
Right.
is as far as being a business owner. So it's different series to that. I'm not speaking this week. I know this week that in a couple of weeks, they're gonna learn about credit. And so I'm supposed to go back in and talk to them about credit and building their credit just
Hmm.
because I have that expertise as well.
Right. Do you think it's important as maybe not just as a human being, but as a business owner to take time to invest in your community and to invest in groups of people that might need help that you have to offer? Do you think it's an important thing that more of us should step into?
I do think volunteering is great. However, it can take your time. And as we all know, volunteering is unpaid time.
Hmm.
I'm big on time. If it doesn't make sense, how they say it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. I'm big
Yeah.
on time.
Yeah.
If I don't want to commit to something, I won't commit. Um, I look at how long volunteering will be. How long will that be? I volunteer at, the St. Mary's Food Bank. I volunteer, at Goodwill. Like I volunteer different places, but it has to be like in like those 2 to 4 increments because I don't want to lose my time. My time is so precious now because when you lose it, you've lost it. You
Yep.
don't get it back. You
Nope.
don't get time back.
Mm-mm.
Don't get time back. So I feel community is important. Being active in the community just kind of shows people who you are and what you have a compassion for and what you're aligned with, because people would never know that, oh, she mentors, oh, she does this, oh, she works with youth. No one would ever know that about me because they've never seen me in that capacity,
Right.
but I'm seeing it more now.
You are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I think it's remarkable. And you're right. The thing is, Tiffany, and I think that you've clearly figured this out, and I don't think people understand. I'm going to go back to self-care because I think part of self-care is your schedule, managing your schedule so that it both serves you and serves everybody else that needs to be served.
Mm-hmm.
You still volunteer your time when you have all this other stuff to do? I think if you can't, it's okay, but I think people don't think about that you can spend 30 minutes walking a dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's your
Mm-hmm.
it's your lunch. Go
Yeah,
walk a dog. You
right.
can go to I do a lot of I try my best to get into the hospice centers as often as possible and volunteer my notary services, but also sometimes just my time to sit with families.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, it kind of is a full circle thing. You can do all of these things if you're prioritizing your life and your time and your schedule. So I love that.
I
Okay.
prior I prioritize it for the most part to make sure not only that I can um do it all, but I also look at it, I also clear my plate often. I've started clearing my plate more. And when you clear your plate more, then you open up more time. Like
Yeah.
I've cleared my plate so much now, I'm like, no. I literally just declined a mentorship program that was from May to September because it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me you're going to teach me how to mentor, and I'm already a mentor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So no, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no.
It's
Yeah.
prioritizing what matters and what makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to jump into this because this had me, I was so disappointed in the outcome of this, but you were the finalist in the 2023. I know you know where I'm going. 2023 National Notaries Association Notary Influencer of the Year. And our viewers don't know this is a designation that the notary community votes on. They submit their choice for influencer of the year, and then they vote for their favorite influencer of the year. It's a really awesome platform, and you made it all the way to the final three. And you know my opinion on this. You were robbed. Regardless of how I feel about this, can you share what your experience was going through that whole process?
Um, so I knew that
Because you
I
don't
was
volunteer yourself. This other people are
right.
screaming your name. That's how you got in that position in the first place.
Right. So first off, I knew that I was like telling people about it, but then I started thinking about all the notaries that I physically had, I deal with and I touch. And I'm like, well, just let me send it out to some people on my phone. And then, it's on, I have my social media person. I'm like, oh, just throw it on social media. And then I really did not know that I had made the top three. I was kind of surprised.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. I'm like, so 3 out of 4.6 million notaries in the world, like, what?
That's got to be a head
Right.
buster, girl. Could you imagine?
I was just like, okay, I'll embrace it. I'm like, I'm happy just to be the top three. Right.
Yeah.
Um, but going through the process, I mean, I think it was okay. People voted for me. One that I didn't know, I reached out to just friends. I'm like, hey, vote for me. They're like, oh, we know you've been a notary. I reached out to a lot of my clients that I do notary work for.
Mm-hmm.
And I do a remote online notarization. So I reached out to a lot of my clients, my title companies. I'm like, could you
Smart.
guys me? So I would go in there and if I had to drop off documents, I would go in person. I'd be like, hey, so I just wanted to let you know this. Can I share it to your phone? And then I found out that the title offices were also voting for me. And I work with a few
Oh,
close signing services. And so, the signing service owner would let their team know. And so I was just able to, that's how I did it. I didn't think that that was going to happen. I promise you I didn't. It took me by
it
surprise.
did.
It took me by surprise. And, I've broke bread and sat next to Mark before, but at the same time, it's like you have to weigh your pros and cons. And I feel like you said robbed. I won't say robbed, but I feel that it
I
should
will.
have been given to someone. I feel it should have been given to someone that's not established as a multimillionaire in the field. And that's just the way I'm going to say it. That's the best way to put it. I
Mm-hmm.
feel that the influencer of the year, and this is for anybody who was ever listening, influencer of the year should be, yes, it's picked by the notaries, but it shouldn't be people that are already established.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of individuals that are established in the notary world.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Mark is established. You have a Bill Soroka that's established, but at the same time, Bill is not really in the notary field. He's doing something else. So he would be a great candidate for influencer,
Agreed.
correct? Right.
Yep.
But when you have someone that's a multimillionaire and all they do is preach notary, 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 and then they get this, it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm not a multimillionaire, but I may make six figures, but what happened? So
Yeah.
I had a seat at the table with him, and then Ebony, I know directly. Her and I, we have conversations. We throw things off of each other's heads, but we were just like, okay, whatever. I mean, we just gonna keep it pushing, and we just made it to the top 3 out of 4 points.
Well, it wasn't an awful experience. It was kind of an eye-opening experience for you in the long run. We can just leave it there. Well, we
bragging rights, I guess, right? As they
for
say.
Sure. Are you kidding me? Major bragging rights. 3 point, how many million notaries decided I was their influencer of the year? A lot of people. Those are bragging rights. They really are, Tiffany. Okay. Yeah. You've been interviewed and featured a lot in our industry. That's how I found you. Somebody else's article about you. And I'm grateful that you made time to sit and chat with me. But before we head out, is there any piece of advice that you would give to a new or an experienced notary? A Tiffany Myles word of wisdom.
Don't limit yourself and know that sky's the limit. If you put your mind to it, the rest will follow.
That's awesome.
The rest will follow. And I say that because I'm huge on vision boards. Everyone talks about me and my vision boards, and they're like, your vision boards aren't normal. And I'm like, no, they're not normal. Because I just go get cardboard. Well, not cardboard, but I go get poster board from the dollar store. I rip it in half and I put one goal on each board. And I learned this from Bill, to put each goal on its own separate entity. So I appreciate Bill, for one, because he's my mentor. And I love him dearly. He's my mentor. And every time I need his help, he's there. He's right there for me.
Phone. Yes, he is.
Yep. And I use that technique, and I have each one of my goals are on a board. I can honestly say I have 15 vision boards on the wall for each of my 15 goals. And I say, okay, what have I accomplished for one of those goals? Did I do something today for that goal? And I try to do something every day, no matter what goal it is. No matter what goal it is.
That's a lot of vision boards. I've never heard Bill say that before.
Well, he says it to put it on like a little 3x3 or something. I got excessive.
No, you went.
I got excessive. I'll send you a picture of what it looks like. I got excessive. Yeah. I'm like, no, I want to do this, you know? It's everything on there, from travel to love to speaking engagements to books to podcasts to everything you want to do. If you don't put it on paper, I feel it doesn't happen.
100%.
Yeah, write a vision and make it plain is what I say. You know, it's a scripture you have to follow.
You're awesome. Yeah. Before we say goodbye to anybody, what's the best way for people to contact you, or do you have any upcoming events or anything happening that you want to share with the people?
Let's see. So I am actually speaking to the National Association of Process Servers on April the 20th here in Arizona. So it'll be 250 process servers that I will be educating on remote online notarizations. I'm doing some volunteering, so I'll be doing that this month. And as far as contacting me, my website, TiffanyMatique.com will be coming. And on that website, it's going to have everything that I do. So from speaking, you're going to learn about me growing up. Everything will be on there. So anyone that needs to reach out to me will be able to contact me there. Awesome. And then all my books, of course, are on Amazon.
Awesome. Thank you so much for making time to hang out with me for this short little chit chat. It was really nice talking to you. I really can't wait to read your book whenever it's done. No pressure. I will stand very firmly in my spot about you being robbed of Notary Influencer of the Year. Nothing will change that. And I'm just grateful for your input on the business and life, Tiffany. You're pretty amazing. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Thank
you. We'll see you later.
See you later. Bye.
I hope that you enjoyed that interview with Tiffany as much as I enjoyed interviewing with Tiffany. I need to tell you guys that all of the things that she has produced or is coming out, I'm leaving links for you in the description box so that you guys can find what you want to find, shop what she has. But I hope that you have learned something from her, and I hope that you guys will stick around for more interviews, more notary stuff coming in the future. Until next week, see you later. Bye.